Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy, and this is kind of a quick two-parter video. And excuse me for the Parkinsonian vibrations again, because I'm too po and too cheap to get a good camera, so I'm using this little rig. Anyway, I finally got around to a project. I haven't touched any of my bikes in a long time. The ZRX 1200 needs new fork seals, so I'm going to be doing that today. And I'm seriously contemplating a fork upgrade. Also, I've got to replace the brake rotors, which are warped from some high-speed riding. People out there who have a ZRX will probably know about this already. The stock brakes suck. The stock suspension sucks. You pull one of these things down from 140 or 150 miles an hour pretty quickly, and you're going to need new rotors, which I do. I'd really love to get me a set of Öhlins front forks, but they're like crazy expensive. They're about $2,400, and so right now your divorced middle-aged car guy cannot afford to spend that kind of money on a set of forks. Well, I guess I could, but then Fuzz would have nothing to eat anymore, so I better not do it. Anyway, onward and upward to today's quick little car video, which is about the 2020 Mercedes GLC Coupe, which, as you can clearly see, actually has 4 doors. This is sort of the sleek roofed version of the standard Mercedes GLC, which is their compact SUV. And you might think you pay a practical price for this stylish roof. I thought so, certainly, until I looked up some of the specs and was startled to find that the headroom in this thing is actually slightly better, if you can believe it, than in the regular GLC, which has a more upright, squared off and formal profile. So that's pretty cool. The only practical price that you pay because of this fastback roofline is somewhat less cargo capacity, but still, like most crossovers, you'll find that this thing can handle easily 3 times as much cargo as a sedan of comparable size, which is why sedans are no longer very popular and crossovers are taking over the whole world. This thing sort of splits the difference. It's got some of the cool, swoopy, sexy, athletic lines that you would find with a sedan, but it's got the additional ground clearance, as you can see. It's also got this kind of cool shovel nose front end that actually looks like it would do a really good job of pushing snow if you needed to. There's a couple of other differences, this versus the regular GLC. This one comes only in an all-wheel drive layout. The regular GLC you can still get in a rear-wheel drive layout with Mercedes 4MATIC all-wheel drive system optional if you want it. This one comes only with the all-wheel drive. Both models come standard with the little 2.0 liter turbocharged 4. Mercedes has bumped up the power a little bit for the new model year. I haven't got the specs yet on the V6 version, the AMG version, and then there's the AMG V8 version that should also be out, and hopefully they'll send me one of those shortly as well. But in any event, it's an interesting vehicle. It's also available with this interesting matte finish paint, which I don't know whether you'll be able to fully see and appreciate it because of my crappy little camera, but essentially it's a flat finish, matte. It looks sort of like a car would look if it hadn't yet been given its clear coat top. This started becoming a popular feature, I guess about 2 or 3 years ago, and I really like it. I like it because it's more stealthy, among other things. If you're going to get a performance car in particular, if you want to use its performance, you don't want to get noticed. And having a flashy, bright yellow, bright red, bright blue car is not a smart idea, in my opinion. For the same reason that it's not a smart idea to make a frontal attack like they used to do back in the colonial era, wearing a red coat. Better to kind of hide behind a tree and snipe. At any rate, I will have more up on the site, epautos.com, hopefully later today. There's also an article up now about this business of vehicle manufacturers, in this case particularly John Deere, but it's not just John Deere, asserting that they have ownership over the operating systems, the software that runs the computers, that runs the vehicle that you buy, and that you can't work on the thing yourself. They're trying to force you to go to a dealer to get your vehicle worked on, which is exceptionally obnoxious. It's bad enough that our vehicles are festooned with all of this over-the-top, over-expensive stuff, but then to say that we can't touch it, that we have to take it to a $100 or more an hour dealership in order to get even the slightest thing done. In some cases with new cars, you have to go to a dealer if you want to replace the battery. And I'm not talking about the electric car battery, I'm talking about the 12-volt starter battery. You have to get the computer synced to the new battery, and the same goes with things like headlights and other trivial things that you used to be able to just pop out with screwdrivers and deal with yourself down at the Napa store. No good reason for it for us, but there's a very good reason for it for them, in that they can increase their bottom line and profits that way. It's very unfortunate. At any rate, more up on the site. Thanks for viewing, and we will catch up with you again soon.